Hi, this is Deborah at dinglefoot.com, and this week I have a little bit of a different project to show you. If you can see, I have a neat looking Christmas ornament. This is called a folded star ornament, and the best thing about these is you can store them very easily. Take my little button, pull it up, and just fold it up, push my button back down the ribbon, and this is how you store them. Just a little square that's about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So these are really fun. I bet your kids will get a kick out of making them too. And I have made this one, and my friend Becky actually sent me this idea, and she sent me these two so I could see how they were made. And all you need is some kind of scoring tool. I have my score pal here. You can just use a bone folder and a ruler, whatever you have. And we'll need 5 little squares of paper that are 3 inches by 3 inches. And I decided to try something different. I got double-sided paper. So this is a beautiful design from Simple Stories. It has like a quilt pattern on one side and a plaid pattern on the other, and this is called Handcrafted. So I'm going to give this a whirl and see how it turns out being double-sided. So you need your 5 squares of paper that are 3 by 3, and then you need 2 more little pieces of paper that are 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and you'll need some ribbon, not too long, maybe 5-6 inches long, and a button. So you want it to have just 2 holes in it, and probably a small button's best, but I think I'm going to try a little bit larger button just to see how that works out this time. So we're going to take each of our squares, and I'm going to turn my score pile sideways here so I can do this, but I'm just going to line it up along the edge. I'm going to score this right in half. So this is 3 inches, so you score it at 1.5, of course. So I have my fold there. Now I'm simply just going to turn it around and do the same thing. Score it right at 1.5 inches again and fold it. Okay? Now we're going to want to turn it and put, this is my outside design, I want to put it face down, and I'm going to line it up corner to corner. So we'll have this little diagonal strip this way. I'm going to go ahead and fold that. Make sure it's folded well. Okay, so we have our square, it's all folded up, and this line that we did diagonally, we're going to take each of those and just fold them in. Okay, so it just becomes a square, but it has a really neat fold inside. Okay, I'll show you on another paper, just in case. I know it's really hard to see on a pattern paper, so we do 1.5 inches, and turn it around and do 1.5 inches again. Just fold those. Okay, now our diagonal one, we will do that right from corner to corner and fold that up too. Okay, you can fold it the other way too if you want to make those little funny pieces easy to fold in. So let's fold them in. We have a square. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that to all 5 of our pieces of paper. I'm going to get mine ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to put our ornament together. You can see here I took 2 of the squares and glued them together. So what we need to make sure of is that all your open edges are pointed upwards, and I even sat mine on the table like this so I remember. I'm just going to use my adhesive runner and just glue all 5 side by side. Okay, so I know that my points are down, my open edge is upwards, so I want to keep that pattern going. Try to line these up here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get those glued together. I'll add another one. Okay, point down, open edge up. And you'll be able to see this as you do it. If it doesn't look like this, then you have them wrong. Just make sure that open edge is up and you'll be just fine. So my last one's going to go on here. Oops, I just knocked my glue down. Okay, next point right there. So now we have this really neat looking square like you saw at the beginning. And if you open it up now, you can see your star. And so if you use the double-sided paper, you're going to have that really neat design inside, but they look just as nice with a white paper too. So it doesn't really matter what kind of paper you use. So next I'm going to take my ribbons and I'm going to be gluing them to these 2 points right down here on the inside. So I'm just going to use my adhesive runner once more. And I'm actually going to put my ribbon in the corner. Okay. And the same way with this one, we'll just put some adhesive right in the corner. Put our little ribbon on there. And you remember the 2 little pieces of 1.5 inch paper I mentioned at the beginning? That's what's going to cover up your raw edge there. So that's our little cover for our star ornament. I'll just glue that right over the top. Okay, turn it over, do the same thing. Oops. Okay, so our raw edges are all covered up. All we need to do now is take our ribbon, just thread it through the button. So I have a pretty stiff ribbon here. Hopefully I can get it through there. Alright. Got that. Have to do this side. Okay, so we'll get that through our button. I'm just going to slide it up here so you can see how it'll look there. And then we're just going to put our 2 ribbons together. Try to get them even. And we're just going to tie a little knot on the end. Then you can take your scissors and just trim them at a little angle. And there you have your neat little Christmas ornament. Okay, so to open and close, just make sure you always bring that button back. Okay, then we can put it together and slide the ribbon, slide the button down the ribbon to keep it closed. I hope you enjoyed this project. Thanks so much for watching.